NIP are just one map away from joining Alliance at the Masters, but G2 are very much still in this. Lothar and Mitch, have fun with this one.
Thank you very much, Sue. Here we go. Haven, been a long time since we've seen G2 not ban this. I didn't say play it, because it's only 20 days, but it's been a long time since they've not banned it, because obviously, as Sue was saying, it was a BO5 where they played it a while ago. But we did see they were capable. It was 13-11 that they lost it. Now moving into the pistol round of this one here. NIP on the attacking side. Oh, they're looking for an A split, actually. They've already got B as they push forward, about to meet right on into Mixwell. The Frenzy round, still with the armor and the Frenzy on this update, is dangerous. Artist distracting Mixwell, picks up a double, and from below, never mind, Artist, he has to wait a while to get his first kill, because Mixwell's greedy. He's picking all of them up, and 1-0 we go. One thing I want to point out quickly, and I'll leave this to you, Lothar, to explain if you feel like it, but we've got a Skye and we've got a Cypher. Now, I much prefer Skye with Cypher than with Killjoy. I feel like the ability to, especially the cages, to flash through those cages, it can initiate so many more fights.
It's the same as I said about Skye and Viper. It's the same rule, basically. Viper creates space, and the same can be said about the cages from Cypher, but the Viper wall is just way more permanent, right? So you wall up or you cage up, then you pop the flash just right behind the wall, and you insta peek. And because you created so much space with the cage or with the wall, you're just so much faster on the execute because of that, which is not available with Breach, an example, because he needs to have a permanent actual, like, you know, cover, and he cannot do that through Sage Wall, an example. So exactly. Yeah, it is a cool feature, that's for sure, and this is why I like the Icebox Viper Skye combination. But by the way, what I want to say about this one, the execute from NIP was actually pretty good. They went through that mid to B to A rotation, but they didn't hear Mixwell at all. They didn't know that someone is still holding like double A. They just run into a crossfire. It was quite unfortunate because the sound that was not made by the opponents paid dividends for them.
Yeah, I think they even did check it, and Mixwell just wrecked them as well, which was interesting. Oh, the spray from Zeke is good for the first. He's in a little bit of trouble on the side there. Backside of Kukos just gets rushed down by 4 players after ducking under hell. That is, or under heaven, which is home. This is going to be a 2-0 for G2, starting it out with 0 losses in this round. So a clean bonus round about to come up.
I'm really interested in you know, international lands once they start happening after we get rid of COVID, because the difference between NA, Korea, and Europe is just so big in the meta game and how people approach the game and so on. And I just really want to see who will be better, you know? Because I like the way Europeans play, less duelist, more utility based, and it's kind of like, let's say, less selfish, right? And a little bit more reserved, I guess. While NA is just this all-out brawl, which is also cool to behold and probably more entertaining to watch for, you know, a viewer that just likes, you know, pew-pew.
Possibly oversimplified on that one.
Yeah, but, you know, I like to make a point, right? Because it's an execute.
I'll give that to you. I'll give that to you. NIP, 5v4. G2 want to come back in. The B site is very easy to take if you just plant the spike and go mid. That's why they're taking so much control outside of A. They want to force the fight there. They know that as well. G2 don't have the best of weapons to take kind of decent range fights. So once this smoke fades, you know, Artis, I don't know. Okay, he's got a Bulldog, so he can actually take a decent fight on range. But he's the last one alive, so he's going to do... Oh, God, the headshots. If that's a Phantom...
to both.
If that's a Phantom, he's instantly in a 1v2.
Yeah, I hate Bulldog, man. I really do. It's such a weird, odd weapon that just deals 115 to the headshot. You need a body shot to close it up if you're within the 15-meter range, but at the same time, the fire rate is just abysmal. I feel like the only way I can use Bulldog is by ADSing and bursting. But what I wanted to point out, in the analytics, when you see NIP playing this free, you know, matches on Haven, they actually do execute a lot on B. And even though they have that experience, the post plant on B is such a chaotic and unorganized mess, as we have seen right now. They were just going back and forth on the B, and they had to pay attention to 4 different directions. It's such a really mess of a hold. when you're on B. I hate it, and I hate to see teams actually play that side. This is why most teams actually avoid playing B.
If you're NIP right now, you're getting a lot of information up on A short. You've seen A long is clear. You know that you've got that secured. Where do you move from there? Oh, I didn't even notice. Now they've got the camera, or maybe this was always the case and I just never picked up on it. But the camera shows the color of the team when it's activated.
Does it?
Did it always do that? The top
actually
left,
didn't pay attention.
it's showing blue on the camera, and I just saw the one on long show red.
Yeah,
so we know that's
it's-
NIP's cam.
It was always like that for sure, because now I see the 2 different colors as well.
Yeah, I don't think I ever noticed that, but that's good to at least be able to tell when it's activated whose cam it is. NIP are rushing in towards the seaside either way, and you can see that Pith tucked in the corner. Ooh, he's just about dodged that aftershock. It's for the backside. It's to deal with that player who's getting shock darted or was being shock darted. They try to follow one to pursue him. Both kills go their way instantly as well.
What a good entrance. Holy crap.
He just sprayed him down as he was trying to retreat in the backside. Got him in the back plat. Now you've got an, I wouldn't say easy 5v3, but a nice advantage.
And I'm not sure about that Rolling Thunder. 5v3 and just burning a Rolling Thunder in a situation like this? A little bit odd.
Nothing.
Yeah. It's just a gamble and no follow-up as well. So this was just basically only used to delay an attack, and probably in mind of a Kukos, if they got hit by it, they have to go back. And they will not try even defusing. Still, a little bit awkward to use. The thing is, Breach has such an expensive ultimate. That's another thing that is really cool about Skye. Her ultimate only costs 6 orbs. So you're gonna have that very often.
Boom goes the... Unfortunately, it's not dynamite. It's Radiant, I suppose. Although it wouldn't
It
go
still
boom.
rhymes.
It would go more like... Because it's getting absorbed, right? Don't know if that's the exact noise it makes. I wonder, you should get like bonus points if you can plant it on C so it hits some of the Radiant on B. You get a 2 for 1.
I don't
like
think that's
2 rounds.
possible. Even if you plant it in the edge, it shouldn't, like, the range of the spike is exactly the same as the range of the footsteps. So I can actually check on the minimap.
But you know what? This game is unrealistic because in real life, you could plant that anywhere you wanted, not just on the spikes.
Oh,
That's my issue with the game. Not people summoning walls out the floor. That makes perfect sense.
imagine the measurement of winning a game would be the Radiant stolen, and you can plant anywhere.
That would be really interesting, wouldn't it? Please, yeah, that would be too much to handle, though. Definitely way too much to handle. Whoops, here we go. Little bit of a tag up from JD's. Not actually able to connect it fully, though, even though that player was pinging. They're going to rotate now after causing so much noise, but I don't know how convincing that fake's going to be. They throw their own smoke into the choke point, so they could be pushing forward. It robs any information from the hands of G2. They've still got 3 players towards C, but they're quickly rethinking that strategy. And when Mixwell's still having a dash up, this is the danger of not taking the A control earlier. He's got everything to work with. Now, the cage goes across, so they can cross over, but he's just worried about anybody getting out to long. Can't dodge the paranoia. Gonna be... Oh, no! That's all because of the paranoia! He couldn't see exactly where he was going, quickly dashed to try and get out, and instead, it cost him his life. That is huge, as now we get a 1-man advantage. Whew.
And all right, let's talk about Micro later, but this is important because he also lost the operator, which is such a huge blunder to the economy. Now Akukos initiates the C push. 2 flashes gone, planned for long. They have the entire control, and in the meantime, look at Rhyme. He's just taking the map control in double dose. He has the guy on the double dose. He almost whiffed that. Patek and Artis in CT have to retreat. They have to get that operator. I think they already got it. Yes, Piff is standing in heaven with the operator from Mixwell's body. So they saved that 5k. Now they have to save again. 3-2 basically for NIP.
It was a couple of warning shots fired off before he finally took the kill. You know, I respect it. Code of engagement. Don't step any closer, I will shoot. All right. I warned you, bro. The rest of the team heeds the warning, and they go fleeing to the A side to save the weapons, as you said. That operator, very valuable. And that's one of the problems as well. You can't go for... Well, you can. No one's stopping you. But a lot of the time, you're going to see teams go to save that operator instead of going for like a 3v4 or 3v5, 3v5 more specifically. Those odds are stacked against you anyways. And in those situations, okay, maybe you would have saved anyways, but a lot of the time it's the operator that ticks it over. So the responsibility to not die is definitely there a little bit more. You know, it's that typical call like, don't die. Oh, my bad, bro. I was going to just jump out, you know? I'll just not die.
What's funny is that Mixwell could have actually just strafe dash, right? He doesn't have to turn. You can just press D and dash in that direction with the key, which probably would save him. Zeke with the greedy push for the orb didn't pay off, and now they lose a gun to that. This is not looking good for G2. Artist knows that there's someone on A short, pushes them out with the shock dart. They regain the control of A, but they have no idea what is happening on A long. A drone is pushing A short. No one is being tagged. A counter drone gets the info from A short. There is a Sova lurking around. Without the tag, he destroys it. So in the meantime, look at that. C control being given and Pip dies. Against Chihuahua, the Cypher versus Cypher battle allows them to get the control of C, and everything falls like a domino.
Super important that Sova walked back there. If he doesn't step back up through short, they instantly rotate when they see nobody's there. He actually, I don't think he wanted to lurk at all, but as soon as they heard the drone, you're like, okay, I have to go destroy this or I'm in trouble. And he doesn't go stampeding forward because maybe there's a player pushing with the drone or something, but that keeps them locked in position. And in this spot where, again, they're like, I guess we'll save in a 3v5 because they've once more lost so much already that they need the money. And so this is one of these situations where you're really kicking yourself at being sold a fake like that after already having to save. It feels like you haven't even played the round, right? At least to two of these players, because I'm pretty sure it's Artis and Patatek that saved in the previous round. You got to start to get fed up pretty quickly. Like,
yeah, this is affecting morale for sure. Like, you effectively not playing the game. It's like playing Magic and not getting lands. If you know the reference.
I have no idea. Oh,
never mind.
Actually,
Never mind.
It's kind of like the No, it's not the same. I was gonna say in Yu-Gi-Oh! When you used to put the thing down that like turned it into the Dark Realm or whatever.
Never played Yu-Gi-Oh!
Very different. Okay, well we're both just talking gibberish to each other then. Cool.
I played almost every single card game on the planet apart from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh my god! Don't tell me you played like, I don't know if it was just a trading card. I don't know if it was a game or just trading cards. Was Pokemon a game?
Oh, what? Get out!
I don't know. I had like
get
5
out,
Pokemon
bro.
cards,
Get out. Get
so
out.
I was like, nah.
That's all right. Anyway, Recon Arrow on A lobby. They gets destroyed immediately. A push with the Boombot gets the damage done, I think.
Well, either way, drone's going forward to spot out these players. 1-2 spotted straight away, so there's some good information to play off of, and you can see NIP immediately want to start moving back towards the spawn. There's still lots of players in position, though, over on the G2 side and over on the C and B side. Look at this. Oh, up on top as well. It's a nasty little angle that we didn't see Patatek get Chihuahua from, but we saw the prelude to it. As he takes him down, now the rotate comes in towards the C side. 2 players, 1 for B and 2 for A. Everything's working out nicely for them. For G2, it's more or less just a waiting game. One of the things we saw was a much more passive approach from G2 on the previous map than what we had sort of been accustomed to. But here on Haven, they've spent a lot of time presumably practicing this map and getting ready.
Oh, that push from Rhyme. Very risky, but he gets the angle. Wow, this could have been actually been huge for G2 if he gets that one tap and gets the Phantom back. But now they're on a disadvantage. 3 versus 4 retaking on Heaven is just a horror story.
Better than 3v5 though, so a chance they actually go. Oh no, Piff! Oh no! Why did we watch that? Oh, the poor guy. Well, he's whiffed the whole mag of a Bulldog as the spike is going to be planted. I presume that was close. Ryan swinging wide to provide the cover. JD gets the kill. There's
they know Patatek is still there.
They do. Look, he's coming out pre-firing at Akukos. There is absolutely none. No mercy, as the name apparently stands for. Mixwell! He dashes forward. I think he completely whiffed mechanically, but it's still... Wow! Oh my God. What? JD's down! 1v1. Mixwell with it all on the line. They need this round. Up above he goes. He knows the player's on the left, evidently. He's waiting for an angle. Misses the shot. Out it comes again. Time's starting to really be an issue, but Mixwell gets it done. All 3 kills, the clutch and the defuse. What did I just witness?
I was just, you know, putting doubt internet operator for the previous map and in this map, right? But right now, Mixwell just won on the back of that operator, although it was awkward. Like this dash forward here could have been a, you know, maybe a fat finger or something, but that second kill on Sova was beautiful. The only thing I can question here is why Korea peaks even that. There was absolutely no reason to re-peak this.
I guess right now he's thinking if he gives him enough time, Mixwell's just gonna like pre-fire the corner or something. I'm really not sure. But
how do you pre-fire the corner if you hear the position of Mixwell? Because he heard that, right?
Yeah, true.
And he didn't defuse, so you can actually play a little bit of time. Did he? We don't know if he had the utility to make the shadow step. I'm not sure about that. But in general, I felt like it's that peak, the last peak where he died, was really unnecessary, and he could have played a little bit of time.
Just so heartbreaking, though. I think I wouldn't even put that on Korea. I think in those 1v1 situations, it's so hot, you're panicking so much. It's more so the fact that we have everybody trying to face Mixwell, and I'm gonna tell you, 99 times out of 100, he loses that round. Like, due to time alone. Even if you peek him, you probably kill him, you probably win off time, but in this one instance, he wins it. And that's where, like, minimizing risk definitely comes into play, but at the same time, I really can't blame Nip too much for that one. That was just crazy from Mixwell.
I mean, that kill on Sova shouldn't have happened. That was such a quick scope. I don't think he even went into the into the scope as well, which makes the shot a little bit random, right? Because it wasn't the full animation unless the spectator mode just didn't show it correct. But in the meantime, there's a huge execute and a rocket to the face. Artist dies. This is his demise, but JD unfortunately falls back. Now it's 10 seconds left to plant.
10 seconds left.
Crossfire, man. NIP are out for blood, out for revenge. They've got it. Oh, hold on. Patatek's come up behind. They didn't even spot that one coming. He's in with a double, and now it's danger time for Rhyme, a 1v2, as he's got to try and win this one out, and it's so close. That spray transfer with a Phantom, definitely doable, but Patatek's flank was too powerful. Picks up the operator, and that is going to be a 4th round for G2. They are starting to fire up a little bit after that previous one. And we mentioned on the first map, you know, G2 is a team where if they get confident, they are as scared. Well, they usually come confident, but if they're if they can manage to really feel like they're the dominant force and get that momentum behind them, you're in so much trouble. And right now, after that Mixwell play, morale is higher than ever.
And you know what was the crucial piece of the puzzle here? Patatek was allowed to get that freebie on Korea because he teleported through the trap on A lobby, and that was a crucial lack of information for NIP that someone did actually cross the A lobby, basically killed Korea. But maybe he should have been more aware that, you know, they know that there's someone playing Omen, and also Raze could just jump over it as well. So it was an awkward round for NIP, and ultimately, that death on A shot after the teleport was the domino piece that started the crumble.
I'm still caught up on that Mixwell play. That was gorgeous, but for NIP, it's certainly anything but a beauty to be losing. So it's the domino effect, right? You lose that previous round, which then sets your opponents up to take it in the one that we just saw. And now things start to spiral a little bit. Pith got spotted backside. He got naded. He gets the player that spotted goes right. His teammate goes left. Pith's not even looking the right way. Can't blame him. But it's going to cost NIP. Or it's no, it's not. It's not going to cost NIP. It's going to cost G2. Recon goes through, spots a player. They can't spam, but Artist can. Kukos goes down. What? Oh my God! How does JD survive that? Knives to the face. They're giving him a haircut. He's gotten some skin off his nose, but he's all good to go. Zeke now coming in to try and recover something. That spray was a little awkward. The blast pack almost gets him, but JD was there first. JD is officially dialed into the Matrix with that play.
Mixwell just missed his shots. And that's about it. Look, the dash to confuse him. He changes crosser placement. And Patatek also waited it out because he knew Mixwell has him. And this is why he didn't peek first. But unfortunately for G2, Mixwell missed like what, 3 or 4 knives before he died. Then that was the trigger for Patatek to peek out, and he peeked into the spray transfer. Unlucky run for G2, and now they are on the back foot with the inferior utility and equipment. and the hardware. Everything is just basically inferior to G2, sorry, to NIP. Although they do have the 900 operator. Bucky.
900 operator. That's a new accolade for it. I mean, you know, you're looking up to 11 meters. It's pretty good. Outside of that, I don't know so much.
Yeah, I mean, it does insta kills, man. Even like up to 12 meters, 13 meters, 40. I'm not sure if it can deal. I think it's 15 meters max, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to actually check it. But it does lethal damage to 15 meters for sure, which is nuts. With one shot, I mean.
Zeke's in a bit of trouble here. Just a classic in hand. This player's up behind him, but they're still clearing it. Round the corner they go. Well handled by NIP. They'll get the side control in the plant. And with the damage done, the weapons that are in the hands of NIP, it shouldn't be too much. But Pyjamas, he's already practicing for the next patch. Remember, the Marshal's still working the same way as it did.
No, Korea!
Oh. So
I thought he's teleporting on the Haven and he was actually teleporting underneath it.
Yeah, Korea was going down below, but either way, nothing to worry about when the guy gets spammed to death through the wall. Mixwell left now in the 1v4. Gonna be a pretty tough one to make work. He tries to pick up that operator, as you put it. We'll see if anything's gonna come of it. I think Korea's within that 15-meter sweet spot, but look who's even closer is Rhyme. He uses the wall as cover, as his own shield. Peeks out after the shot, eliminates Mixwell and puts 6 on the board. For NIP on the attack, I'm feeling pretty confident right now. They're looking really good. They lost the pistol here as well, so their buy rounds have just been solid. And the only time that we've actually seen G2 pick up those rounds was on the A retake, where Mixwell had an insane clutch, and then another round which was pretty repeated.
Pyjamas, right? There were 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, it was the flank, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like on the back of Mixwell having a 3k retake, 1 versus 3, and then Pyjamas just getting a very important double kill that ruined the entire boss plan for NIP. Other than that, they don't really have much success. So, but remember, this is Haven. This is actually a little bit more favored to the attackers. So it's not done yet, especially when you get a triple kill through this smoke. What?
It's one of those things. One of those things, isn't it? For Mixwell at the moment, just trying to hold down C long seems like a pretty easy task. I mean,
Zeke and Mixwell just stomping NIP through the smoke. But look at the lineup. Look at the minimap. 3 X's next to each other. Like in a almost perfect line.
Almost a line, yeah. It's like, especially when you're playing, like, you'll see it a lot with the Phantom. You're just spraying down on range. Like with the Vandal, it can be hard to connect it consistently, but the rate of fire of the Phantom, you got 2 of you spraying as well. Nice and easy. This is a bit of a turnaround, though, isn't it? Mixwell comes up behind to close it out, luckily. Otherwise, that could have gotten out of hand pretty quickly.
Yeah, we were not prepared for the push on from double doors, because that would have been awkward.
So Mixwell clutching, right? We're talking buy rounds here. Mixwell making an impossible 1v3 clutch. Pyjamas catching them off guard with a flank, and this triple spray down that I don't think I can explain. Those are 3 rounds that we've had for G2 in buy rounds. Those are the only 3 they've won, and then they've got the pistol on the follow up, where it was an eco. At the moment, technically, their defensive side isn't actually that strong, but they're very close to equalizing it up and still setting themselves up with a pretty good result in the half.
Exactly, which is a good point, because G2 typically is better on attack, historically speaking, on almost every single map. So this is important. If they get the last round, this is the crucial, most important round for them. They have to go bit by bit.
Here comes the party, or the showstopper, looking for some victims.
But now he's being spotted already. He actually shot the rocket.
Yeah, he shot instantly towards the spawn. They just ran away as soon as they spotted him with the drone.
But look at the minimap right now. C is completely open, but from double doors, of course, right? But NIP doesn't know that, and they already put their forces into A short. They tried to move towards it. Now the drone sells them out, although G2 still doesn't know if someone is thinking mid control. They have control of long C, but now they are stacking also towards A. There's a huge execute. Mixwell gets the first kill, gets traded by Korea. Plant goes down. Nah, never mind.
Shock dart again. The TP. Oh, wait.
Wait.
So he's gone into hell. The shock dart came through and killed Rhyme, who didn't even have the spike. The idea was to kill the spike planter. Oh, if they went for it, the spike is currently in hell. sat down below, waiting, but now has to cross back over. Has Shadow Step, but he needs to take a fight, and this is dangerous, but Chihuahua in with a double. Huge work being done by the young Russian, as now they can get that spike down with the Shadow Step safe as can be. They're going to spot both of these players, so there's no need to walk around. And in fact, you see a little bit of a fake. Cypher runs up the stairs, so they think he's coming from heaven, but they're both going to come from down below. I don't know how well that's going to sell, though. Okay, Korea's on 11 HP. He's in a lot of danger, but it's Chihuahua that needs to take the fight. He falls. Korea down to a 1v1, and he gets the headshot. Korea, phenomenal stuff to put 7 on the board for NIP at the half.
He redeemed himself because he didn't get any kills from under heaven when he had the angle. It was Chihuahua who bailed him out. But right now with the 11 HP clutch, he actually pulled it up. But I have to point it out. When the paranoia happened and Chihuahua was blinded in the corner, it was Korea's job to peek first to save his teammate. And he didn't do that. He actually baited Chihuahua to die first and then get a peek and kill, even though he only had 11 HP. So this was a very, very lucky round for NIP right now.
In a way, though, it feels deserved. You know, I could almost see them up on that 8-round mark, but for the big plays coming out from G2. But that's something you can always rely on. Don't pay attention to the scoreboard colors there. It is G2 on the attack now as they look to move up through C long, at least at the very start. This is where they're applying pressure. There's 3 players here. Going to take the orb and run on away. It's Mixwell looking for those precious knives to be coming through. I haven't done too much for him, actually. Have they done anything?
I mean, he missed like 4 of those on B.
Yeah, well, yeah. Other than that, I don't really think it's done anything for him. So for G2, it seems peculiar to put the old charge on him, but fair enough.
I would prefer it on Zeke, definitely. But no, right now they have look at the push. Look at the push for the double dose. Cool combination of smokes and the Skyhawk to get control of B. Now they're just wandering on the map. Everything is just being controlled by G2. Look at that lurk, I would say.
Lurk,
I guess.
Pith might as well be AFK there. That's something you see in your ranked games, not necessarily in pro games where Pith almost good for a double. Good damage done to Chihuahua. Now the retake for NIP is going to be frustrating. To get back in here with it planted open, but the attempt at A side control, JD, doesn't get them both. With him falling, this becomes very difficult to hold on to, and they just fall like dominoes. Mixwell, good for 1, good for 2. Over to the Ghost now, looking for that 110 headshot. Dashes out onto site, but it's being stuck, at least for now. Almost the full way, but down he goes. Mixwell with a 4K to put the pistol round in their favor yet again. And now, looks pretty reasonable that they gave him the ults, because he's going to try to maybe even pull it out in this round here.
I don't think against an eco, right? Because even if it's
of course, yeah.
Right, I don't think the NIP will force, even if they will. Those knives are not really that much better than just a Stinger or Spectre in this case, I would say. He goes, look at that. He's allowed to play a Phantom with full buy. This is actually really important for the economy and can get a little bit snowballing.
Quite interesting, too, especially because you've got the escapism. Playing with a Ghost and a Dash seems pretty reasonable, right? You take a fight. If it's not favorable, you get out. Sure, the same thing can be said for the Phantom, 100%. But the problem I have more so is that farming ultimates is very important in this game. Ult orb charges are so impactful. So if you have the ability to give your teammates a rifle, and they can then fire, like Zeke, for example, right? Okay, you won't be taking initial fights a lot of the time, but it would make a little bit more sense, but all right, fair enough. Gonna give the plant over towards Patatek. He's got himself that little charge, and for G2, holding off against retakes should be relatively easy. They've got full C long control, and if you look at the spot where it's planted, it's important because they can only defuse it from 1/2, right? They can't go all the way, like if it's planted at the end of the default, there's a big circle they can be in, whereas there's a box blocking half. The side, JD with a double. Tap after tap with the Sheriff in hand. Korea caught out in the open. Not going to do all too much for that one, but Chihuahua, we've seen what he can do before. Why are they so far away? He could get that halfway if he wanted to.
If he actually did get that kill on Patatek and had that half, he would have won that, but none of those things happened. Anyway, what I wanted to say though, I think I see a small change in Mixwell's approach to the game. We often see him being an operator player on attack as well. But it seems like here on Haven, we might actually witness Mixwell, who's being the initiator, because he's the only duelist in the team right now. If he's going to be playing operator, he can't really open up space on any of the sites. So he is very much needed right now, so no one else has like the potential movement that he has. If he's going to play operator, this might actually be detrimental to his team. So let's pay attention to that if he's actually going to go. Because right now, him having that dash on site will be instrumental for a lot of those rounds to be successful.
Flash blinds Artis, manages to get a tag off with that, but it won't deal too much other than seeing where he goes to. 3 players now on the C site, soon to be 4. NIP stacking up pretty heavily. This is a full buy round for NIP, but G2, they've got mostly rifles as well. They've actually invested quite a lot, whereas Artis, for example, he's going to stick on the Spectre. I think they've got 3 rifles, maybe 4. I think it's a Bulldog and 3 proper rifles, real rifles. Dashing out of there now. This is important. They know not just that it's not being stoked, but they know the players are not on the site. So presumably they're in that corner. It gets fault line, stunned, keep them in position. Mixwell's isolated. He has got cover for fallback, but he can't really get out of there safely. It's a risk, but he goes for it and falls back to double doors. Or even further, as this is looking like it's going to be just a full commitment towards C-Long. Versus a full buy and versus players stacked up here, that's going to be pretty tough to manage. Korea just pops down the smoke. Paranoia is in effect. It blinds Rhyme, but here's Korea's opportunity. He gets spotted on backside. They're not switching targets. They're not firing at him. Rhyme and JD come in, though, to save the day, so it doesn't matter. I'm really curious. They tagged Korea, but I think they were all so distracted with trying to finish off Rhyme that they didn't notice even that he was...
I'm actually a little bit confused, because if I do something like that in ranked, I die immediately. Like, you are always getting tagged. You actually don't have the upper hand. You want to shoot through your smoke. You have no info why your opponents exactly know where you are. So he was bailed out by, I guess, positioning of Rhyme on the right side of the site, because he had the first contact. And because of that, they were all focused on him, I guess. But not destroying that recon arrow, I felt was a little bit awkward. And probably was a mistake. Could have cost them big time.
I agree 100%. Oh, Mixwell, hello.
Those are the knives you mentioned, right?
Exactly. And they can afford a decent investment because of those knives and because he's got that free economy. Another kill for him. The spray down from Makukos. Going to deal some serious damage, but not enough to take those pesky knives out of the game. They rotate towards the A site. There's still 1 player on the back. It's Rhyme. He wants to swing and catch a couple of players off guard. He goes in and takes down Patatek, but the trays are quick. And they're clinical. Korea tagged on his way out. The camera completely gives away his position. He runs to site. They know where he is, but Pith wasn't ready. They were trying to both watch the right side. Luckily, Zeke's able to save the day. And we tie things up here. Getting, you feeling another 5 overtimes here, Lothar?
I don't know. This seems like actually G2's show right now, to be honest. And it's how do they look on the economy? Well, actually, not that great, which is interesting. This is really interesting. Look at that. Only 3 rifles, sorry. But 2 with small shields, while NIP also is in a bad spot. But they have a Guardian, 2 rifles, 3 rifles if Korea buys one, and I'm sure he's gonna go for that. So this one actually can be a round for NIP. I feel like this might be the closest one, because they always dealt damage to G2's economy every single round.
The most important thing really is not just the weapons that they have, but NIP have both the Showstopper and a Hunter's Fury to play off of. With that, the value increases massively. They're very close to getting their other 2 ultimates as well. So, an Ult Orb or a bigger performance could definitely change the tides there as well. And again, please ignore the colors on the scoreboard. The G2 are showing up blue, but they are on the attack. Just a thing that happens at the halftime for some reason. Those 2 players are spotted, on A long. They're spotted falling back. Obviously, they could be back out there peeking. So G2 are going to be a little bit cautious of that. It does look like they're going to be fairly heavily stacked towards the A side at this point, though.
No one was actually blinded by that. So they still proceed to go because they didn't hear anyone peeking with that flash, which kind of tells them a story. No one else is there. Exactly. In the meantime, 3 people standing all day.
Yeah, this is the thing. They know that Sova was here before, so using up Sova utility isn't that telling, and they're about to spot this out. There you go. They know they're all here, but they've left the site. They were looking to start a rotate early to B and C site. which leaves it open for that spike plant to come in for G2. Hunter's Fury doesn't need to be used yet. There's, that fault line is massive if he manages to catch anybody, but it's not going to quite work. Right with a double. That is massive. 40 seconds left. Spike not planted. Mixwell tries to open up space. He wants to push in, but JD shuts him down. And a 5v2 now. Spike finally gets planted. Ryan got another nade, remember, because of his ult, and the round's over and done with. The G2 show, well, that was the showstopper that ended it all.
That was such a cool piece of comboing the ults. Yeah, I'm not sure if you just kind of saw it, but the way JD used his ult was on the default spot, while Rhyme knew exactly where the ult is being used, so he used the rocket in the spot where people would have been pushed out by the ultimate from JD. So he basically can shoot it just blindly because everyone will be either on this spot or the other side of the side next to Graffiti. So a very cool play by both JD and Rhyme. Good combo. I'm a little bit though surprised that Rhyme with the second grenade didn't try to stop the plant. But he was so worried that someone is still standing on long, he didn't want to peek from the window because he was low on HP.
Yeah, and I guess the idea there being he nades long and then he can peek out without worrying about long at all.
Exactly.
So he can at least support his teammates for anybody that's coming up through short to try and retake a fight. Get a crossfire.
Oh, Zeke with the greedy pick for the ult, but he was being backed by Pathetic with the spike though. Imagine that being told to the opponents if he gets killed, but that didn't happen.
The thing is for Zeke, I think this is definitely worthwhile because he is just one away from his ultimate. So dying in this round, which is likely to happen because it's an eco, means he has it for the next round for sure. Nixwell shut down, trying to open some space inside of Garage. Patatek wants to plant desperately. It will only help with a little bit of money, but what? Did he just... He came off it and got a double, a Kukos, to finish it off nice and cleanly, but that is massive. This was looking like it was going to be a clean round for NIP. I actually thought the colors had swapped in the kill feed for a second because of how quickly that happened. It looked like the rifles were the ones doing it, but in fact, no. 3 players dropped when you're full eco? I'll take that.
That was, if I'm not mistaken, Pathetic was planting, stopped planting right before the Rolling Thunder, or was that fault line? And that was a Rolling Thunder. And he got a kill from double dose and then the other peak. That was insane with a ghost, so he had to hit double dinks basically on both players.
Yeah, exactly why I questioned whether what I just saw I actually saw. It was just sheer mayhem. But yeah, for NIP 10-8 position in G2, where you have to really wonder if you lose this round, where's the morale at? You know, you're probably going 12-8. You're probably going to have to give up a lot of space. So this is where they invest. This is where they commit, rather. And by invest, I don't just mean the weapons. Obviously, they've already done that. We're looking at that ultimate on Zeke. And I'm waiting to see exactly how this one works out for them. Zeke's going to be moving up through... Oh, no, he's going short. Might be caught by this cage. This could be the ult taken out of the round straight away if Chihuahua goes out for an aggressive peek. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, though. The flash...
There goes the
Seekers. Those are the Seekers, and he's just destroyed them. Got taken down, but that's almost a worthy trade. They think as well the A side is clear, or they know, because the other Seeker went behind them. So that player's obviously towards the B site, so they're free to just go and plant that spike.
They also planted a non-default spot, so that arrow, even though it was late, it wouldn't have not hit anyone. And now they have full map control. Does that seem like NIP was just gonna save it? Might be. He had some steps.
If dropped, do they still save? Time is fairly low. I'm curious what has made them do that, though. Because if you look at the position, like typically if you have a Rolling Thunder, an Orbital Strike, a Hunter's Fury, something like this, you'll decide to save because, okay, it's not really worth going out for and losing the money to. But with 4 rifles still in play, they decide to completely concede a 4v5, and I guess it says something about their confidence in retaking A, but also just how important this round was. If they lost this, then G2 are back tied 10-10, but the fact that they've saved the weapons means they can at least give this one a good shot.
Yeah, I feel like might have been the main reason to not go for that retake because JD was out of his recon arrow. And maybe because of that they didn't have like the time, you know, to go for a specific retake that they have always planned. Kind of hard to say. It's a little bit baffling, to be honest, because not even that, they would have gone for some exit kills even when not trying for a retake. Would have been very important to destroy G2's economy, which was already bad, and now they didn't do that. I would have to go back to this round and try to analyze it.
Yeah, there must be something. There must be something we're missing.
Yeah, for sure.
That call coming through. Either way, NIP have decided to go for the save and carry the weapons forward. They've bought up another weapon, and now they're defending, or rather attacking, because look at mid. They've pushed right down, and unbeknownst to their enemies, they are already tucked up close as we witness Rhyme. I mean, holding this position is probably the best idea for now. They've heard the ult orb be used, or be taken, or started to be taken at least, on C long. Question is, what do they do from here? And that decision making, they know there's players on C long. They have no idea about outside A. Mixwell falls. They think this is a C push, but they're very wrong. Now spotted out, they know these players are on long. The flank begins very quickly. Two players right behind. All JD has to do is buy some time, and that's massive. Spotting them out with the tripwire. JD swings through to try and find the final, and the stab in the back from Akukos secures it. 11-9 and an absolutely huge round for NIP to win.
Wow, what a round. And the courage of on Chihuahua to actually get that pick on Mixwell. I'm a little bit surprised that Mixwell just went for that solo peek on C, and dying to the Spectre was very detrimental to the round. Basically, then I don't think it was necessary for Chihuahua to go for that second fight, but he won that, and because of that, it essentially won the entire round. Because even if the A hold was failed by who was that? That was Kriya? Actually, JD probably. It doesn't matter. But even if they would just not hold A, they had a 4 versus 3 retake on A, and which one I'm 100% certain would be happening. So Chihuahua, basically with that first blood and second blood, won that round for them.
Just for you guys at home, this is a G2 tactical pause that we just saw going up on our screens. They are feeling the pressure. It's very rare that you see G2 take tac pauses. I mean, I remember going months at a time. That's not even a joke without seeing one. Mainly because they were dominating everybody so aggressively. TP to back side. That's almost a bait, but Chihuahua, well, he ends up falling for it. Now Kriya spots nobody else pushing forward. For G2 at the moment, they're just slowing it down, waiting till the utility was popped up, and Kriya taken down backside. This is a very solid start to the push for G2. Plan should come through, and it's a 2v5. About as quick as you like, that C site falls. G2 just... Or, sorry, NIP just going for the save again.
Yeah. I mean, 2 versus 5, I don't blame them in this case. There's nothing to think about here. Especially since they're on... let's say their economy is not the greatest, right? They have 1k and 3.5, so Rhyme will be able to drop if he doesn't lose his armor or lose his utility anymore, which I'm most likely certain he's gonna save. So they will have a full buy on everyone next round, which is important. Now, when it comes to G2, I really like how they played. Mixwell was peeking with the Tiger at the same time, and because of...
Shot in the back from JD, I like it. It's almost like a little bait. You know, I'm up here.
Yeah, but what I want to point out is Mixwell really timed it well to peek with that Tiger when his opponent was busy shooting it instead of holding the angle. And by the way, that was a mistake of, I think it was Kriya. No, it wasn't Kriya. Someone else from NIP that was holding that angle, because the Tiger doesn't even see him from that range. You don't have to shoot it unless you want to help out a teammate that was holding a close angle, but there was no one there. So he would have just ignored it, and because of that, Sky was still kind of useless because she doesn't gain anything from that, while he would have a fight against Mixwell peeking without knowing where anyone is.
This is looking like it's going to be a C-long take. We'll see what they do for G2. Actually, just dashing out quite quickly. Chihuahua's caught trying to take his cage back, and look at our tripwire, excuse me, activating up the cages as Mixwell falls. Now the spam through, not landing anything really. Op shot misses. Shock dart through, connects to its target, true as can be. Chihuahua in with another NIP. Hello, 5v2. This is a very quick, very swift turnaround by NIP. Previously, that C-long push completely destroyed them, and this time, very different story.
And Patita only on 11 HP. This is gonna be a tough round. But G2 has to try it, right? There's no other way. They cannot just give away a match point without a fight.
Match and series point, absolutely. You don't want to just concede that over. You want to make sure you can at least win this, but huge individual play is needed, and it's just not going to happen as Rhyme shuts down one Pith. Oh, that's terrible. The tag in at just the wrong time. Rhyme knew exactly where to look, and Pith hadn't got a clue. 12-10. 2 chances to close this one out. Again, ignore the scoreboard colors. It is NIP on the attack. It's on the defense. Whoa. G2 on the attack. 20 kills under his
This is
belt.
really confusing. Please, Riot, fix this.
Yeah, we need that. But, hey, look. Mixwell's got his ultimate in hand. This is something that can be pretty impactful. He's gone for a Spectre because of it.
I mean, he didn't have cash for anything more, but he has to buy something.
Exactly. There's a reason that he's got it and not his teammate. Although, what's the draw time in a Spectre? Is it 1 second or is it 0.75?
0.75.
Okay, it's the same as Stinger then. Okay. Oh, I wasn't 100% sure, so figured we'd check.
SMGs are way more equipped to be dashing and like equipping a weapon.
Here's the Wolf going through again. It's going to be clearing out the B site. Does it get through to the back? I'm not sure that it fully oh, kind of on a jump, but they didn't jump. So they actually don't know about a Kukos right up the back. And that's an Aftershock very well placed to push Patatek right into the arms of JD, who was waiting, happy to receive a guest. Oh my word, JD! This is huge! In with a double to put them on the lead. Good damage, followed by a kill with Zeke falling. It's a 4 versus 2. Artist from the side swipe at least manages to get one. Goes for the Hunter's Fury, wants to try and push them off that. He's going to delay as long as he can, but he could be being pushed on. He knows it, even with the knife out. No steps, he's still expected. Artist needs to get in there and do something, though. It's already half defused. Down he goes, leaving Pith all by himself. A 1v2, but a 1v3 it was, actually. But now a 1v1. That spam connects, and that's it, done and dusted. G2 are out as NIP are the second team in Europe to confirm their